Eh, mega love shoutout Kuya Him.
That's exactly what it has to do there, Bill. If the help defense is not going to come, and you're going to have all the blue jerseys staying at home, waiting for the ball to come out, you've got to be able to take your man one-on-one.
He can do that as DeRozan at the free throw line. Comes in Spurs leading scorer and assist man, 20 points a game, 7.4 assists. And also 88% from the free throw line. Only Patty Mills shooting it better there. And DeRozan makes it an 8-point game again. DeMar with 7 points. Murray also 7. And now DeMar with his 8th. Spurs back within 7. Chipping away. Their Prudhoe nearly came up with the steal. Is that full court pressure?
Yeah, I like that pressure, actually.
Was it the Bulls game that paid dividends and
making the Clippers look just a little shaky? They got one. Luke Kennard looked like he was going to get a wide open jumper until Devin Vassell blocked in the corner, and that's about as good as they looked with the pressure.
George kicks it out to Morris. He's already hit 4 threes, steps in for the 2 here, and Luka Šamanić comes away with a rebound.
That was a great angle there from DeMar DeRozan to confuse Morris.
White kicks it out. Keldon Johnson. Rebound, Kawhi Leonard. Ahead to George. Morris. And a foul.
Yeah, well, just contact in the air. Just can't challenge anybody in the paint.
That's a fact check. At the free throw line, Morris. And now a quick word about a big change coming to our network.
Your favorite teams have a new network. Fox Sports Southwest has become a Valley Sports Southwest. March 31st.
Not far away. Morris at the free throw line. He started the last 4 after coming off the bench in 9 straight, and tonight his 5th straight start. And he's been averaging 14 points, shooting 39% from 3 in his start. So that role is taking a liking. He's taking a liking to it, I should say. That one as the Clippers help the Spurs out, and there's Kawhi Leonard with another steal. And Morris for the win. 15 for Marcus Morris now. 10th year in the league.
He's having a terrific first half.
DeRozan. Mars leaner. Comes off to Morris. George. Now Jackson. Eubanks. Knocked it away, but Zubac's there to clean it up.
That's a nice burst there by Drew to get back and block the shot, but we had just too many guys setting up shot outside the three-point line. And after that block, again, no white jerseys there to clean up the mess. And it's an easy putback. But how about Derek White and the ball movement there? Derek gets it up to put the bottom.
The Dates, mega love shoutout. May Art Channel. Eric Perez, ayan. Kuya Him. Sa lahat po ng nandyan, mega love shoutout po sa inyo. Commercial break lang.
Rudy Gay out with a sore foot tonight, but it's Rudy Gay bobblehead night thanks to HEB. Kevin Johnson had a little fun with him, as always. Here's a very interesting graphic that gives you a great idea of how the game has changed. The most common jump shot locations on the left, Jordan's NBA from 98. On the right, we think Kirk Goldsberry took this work last season. Look at that, Sean. Yeah, well, you can see it. I mean, just watch the game, and everybody's spread out along this line. You know, guys are allowed here playing the game, and no one's in the paint area. Spurs have closed to within 5, and the Clippers, the last couple, it's back up to a 9-point game. Murray, Johnson, DeRozan, Mills with the basketball, and now Eubanks with the screen. Watch out, Patty nearly lost it. 8 on the shot clock. Mills to Eubanks. Slapped away and a foul.
The Nook Channel, mega love shoutout. The Nook Channel.
Spurs ball on the side. Mills will put it in play. 14 now on the shot clock. As Batum going to check in. Or he's not. Ty Lue's might decide substitution. Reggie Jackson will come out. Jackson's 2 fouls. Morris 2 fouls. Here is Eubanks off to DeMar DeRozan. Held it for 3. Eubanks kept it alive. Got hammered from behind and no call. A few more years in the league, you'll get that call. Important thing is Spurs get basketball. There it is. Looked like his right arm was being held. There it is. Looked like his right arm was being held. DeRozan the 2 the other way. And Morris is now hit 5 threes. He had a career night this season against Miami with 32 points. Yeah, so I'm saying pick your points because Batum's, no slouch from beyond the arc with the way, and there he is. But the way that Morris has shot the ball, you got to take it out of his hands. Leonard beat Drew Eubanks for that. And
Mega love shoutout. Art Flow by Mo.
Thinking he should be going to the free throw. I don't know if he was calling for the foul or just showing off his left hand. Yeah. The claw. Eubanks. Rebound to Leonard. Spurs have done a lot of work. You don't want to see it get away from them here at the tail end of this first half. Yeah, you're exactly right. Control things again. Having his way. Out of bounds. Spurs basketball. .204 counting. Spurs down 10. Biggest deficit was 18. Then 6-18. DeRozan Eubanks, little soft hook. Won't fall. Leonard and Zubats with the dunk.
It's usually Drew doing the dunking. He put that little chicken wing out there, and he got it on top of Drew's shoulder, and he's able to climb the ladder.
Zubats, 7 points, 5 rebounds. And the Clippers, if they weren't focused against the Hawks, they are tonight.
Yeah.
Patty Mills swishes the jumper to make it a 10-point game. Paul George. Rebound falls off to DeRozan.
Well, push it.
DeMar in the paint, draws the foul, and one. Almost slow-moed through the rain, but he got the call and strong enough to finish.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing you want to do is allow this defense to get set. All their length and athleticism, and DeMar just imposes his will. Able to bump Morris there. Take the contact. Beautiful focus there by DeMar DeRozan.
And DeRozan, chance for an and one with 14 points. Spurs shooting 48% from the floor tonight. And DeRozan, perfect at the line, 5 of 5, 15 points, 7-point margin. Here's Leonard with 14, 5 rebounds, and an assist. He's it to Terrence Mann.
Oh,
His acrobatic move is good.
That was pretty special there for Mann.
Delay a game warning
I was
there.
wondering what was going on.
The Clipper bench sure reacted to that. Not sure what the call was. And DeRozan,
And our
call
guys
for a foul.
That's just a smart play there by Nicholas Batum. We only have DeMar DeRozan in the backcourt. He just covers them up. All that length, and we have the other 4 guys are in the front court. They have to run pretty much the length of the court to get back in it, and it's a turnover.
It's a play by the Clippers with the ball with 42 seconds to go. 2 for 1. The 2 knocks down the 3. Got the defense, then the offense.
Our guys play this one if they manage the clock.
DeRozan. Zubats to Leonard. Guarded by DJ. Back out to Paul George.
Should have 5 or 6 seconds coming back the opposite direction for possibly the last shot of the half if you don't foul here. Got to get a stop.
Leonard with 5 on the clock. He can get his shot anytime, anywhere. Absolutely incredible talent.
A lot of work in the gym.
Yep. 4 seconds. DeRozan. And that ends a disappointing end to this second quarter after the Spurs had gotten back within 5. San Antonio was within 5 at 49-44, but then a Lakers sprint, including a 7-0 run to end it. And it's 67-53 at the half. Rick Renner will have it when we come back.
Sorry, Spurs fans. I go to get it in my computer here. As we already mentioned, the penalty is not a real lawyer. If you're looking for the check out his website, www.penaltypause.
Getting after it. Deflection. Grant Williams going the other way. Giannis trying to time him up. Don't worry about it. I got this. Grant Williams lays it up. That is the Hyundai drive of the game. Well, all that confident body language I was saying Milwaukee had disappeared. Disinterested right now. Yes. That's what it looks like to me. We'll see. I think the Bucks are a team that historically has blown leads. So that has to be in the back of their mind. See if the Celtics get this thing to 7 or 8. Middleton finally able to get it inside, backing his way down. Holiday has to kick it out. Lopez misses a 3. Huge opportunity to get to those single digits right now for Boston. Brown dumps it inside. Rob Williams kicks it out. Grant from the corner. Oh, that was big. That was a huge shot. That was big. Giannis tees it up. This is the 3. Grant Williams, nice job holding off Lopez. And getting the rebound with one hand. Looped up inside. Rob Williams is there. So a lot of Bucks, and they get the turnover. Middleton. Giannis. Middleton. Banks it home. Middleton is so old school. Good pass from Giannis. Middleton stretches it back to 13. That was a big swing that last possession. So opportunities for 5 points there. Didn't execute. Smart gives it up to Teague. Teague for 3. Buries it. All right, Celtics back into this thing. Huge defensive stop right here. Teague's had a heck of a week. 5 of 7 in the game tonight. He's got 13 points. Middleton. That little fall away in the lane. Oh, they get the roll. Middleton does a great job of just getting space to get his shot off. Milwaukee by a dozen. We're going to 7 minutes on this possession. Teague throws up a runner, and he's going to get to the free throw line. Lopez can't believe it was a foul. Well, take a look on. Let's go back to Teague's 3 against Giannis. Backs it up. Just walks into it. Yeah, and that's where you're not going to contest. He's going to let that thing fly. Teague has been playing really well these last 2 games. Tucker's back in for Milwaukee, and Holiday's going to take a rest. There are the numbers for Teague. As I said, he's just had 2 really good games. Ten-point game now, 109-99. Teague. Nice job on DiVincenzo there. Middleton spins. Good reach. Tatum got a hand in there. Loose ball. Oh, it's picked up by Lopez. He goes for the basket and he got fouled. And that's Smart kicked in the face trying to help him out. Man, Celtics got a great opportunity going the other way. Cut this thing to 8. How do they get this ball back? There's a spin. Good hands by Tatum. Oh, Middleton got a hand on it before Teague even took off. That's a great play by Middleton. And there's the foul. Strong foul by Smart. Lopez going to the line. No good deed goes unpunished. Marcus leaned over to help him up. Who stopped it? Lopez's foot kicked him in the face. That's why you don't help guys up. I guess so. Teague goes to the bench. He certainly did the job. 15 points in 16 minutes. Lopez knocks him down. 17 on the night for Lopez. Well, Kemba got hot in that third. Now he's back for his final stint in the 4th. We'll see how he goes. He's got 20 right now. Gets it to Tatum. Tatum in the lane. Sends it out. Brown's going to take it. Make it. Wow, that's a big shot. Good job adjusting up the floor, making himself available for Tatum. Bucks had a 25-point lead. It's now down to 9. Middleton for 2. The defense does not bother him when he elevates for a shot. It doesn't matter if the guy's on his hip or right in front of him. Just lets that thing fly. Walker off the dribble. Brown. Air ball is taken down by Connaughton. Middleton, every time up the floor. Last 3 trips, he's hit 3 shots. He gets that mismatch against Kemba. Like I said, the hand in his face does not bother him. Smart steps back, buries a 3.
Bakit tayo gumalaw? Iko lang. Uy, nawala. Nawala sa mga breaks.
Utah Jazz, Jeff, and Rudy Gobert. We talk so much about offense, and it's offensively. Not as well defensively, but Gobert in so many different ways makes a huge impact night in and night out for this team.
Well, there's so many reasons they have the best record in basketball. Their three-point shooting, their improved offensive rebounding. But at the top of the list is their defense, led by Rudy Gobert. His intensity, his anticipation, his every night consistency. It sets a foundation for defense with this shot blocking and rim protection that gives them the chance to be a dominant defensive team.
Well, we were hoping he was going to have to defend against the big three of the Brooklyn Nets, but none of them are playing. Kevin Durant's still out with a hamstring injury. Kyrie Irving is out because of personal reasons, not on this road trip. And now James Harden will not play because of his sore neck. He did play last night, but will not go. So if you're Steve Nash, without those three players, what do you do tonight?
Well, you probably lose. That's what you probably do. But as you go about that, what you're trying to do is catch Utah in a subconscious letdown where they play fast with Jeff Green at the 5. They throw a lot of people at him. They shoot a lot of threes. They try to play quick, fast, and jump on him with Utah coming off of this road trip. And hopefully for them, a subconscious letdown.
Taco Bell sponsors our starting lineups, and the usual starting 5 for Utah. They've only had 3 starting lineups all season, but this is the 23rd for the Nets. Tyler Johnson will start with Bruce Brown, Joe Harris, Jeff Green, and Timothé Luwawu-Cabarrot. As Steve Nash going to try and do things a little bit differently. Obviously go small, but he was talking before the game and saying, had to jump it up a little bit, push the pace. And send a lot of guys in and out of the lineup throughout the course of the evening. So for the Jazz, certainly they won't have any sympathy whatsoever, as they are first back home. Is their first game in a long time. They've only played one home game in the past 27 days. Obviously, part of that was the All-Star break, but they played 9 of their last 10 on the road, including a 5-game road trip that just ended with an impressive victory against Chicago the other night. There's Mitchell. Mitchell quickly in the paint. Can't get it to fall. And Jeff Green the rebound. Tyler Johnson getting the call. Pass inside to Green. Green, tough turnaround shot. Won't go. So sometimes, Jeff, this could be a fun night. Some of these guys are going to play bigger minutes than they normally do, get a real chance to have the ball in their hands, more shots. It's always interesting to see if one of these role players can step forward and have one of those special nights.
Well, you see them every year where this unexpected roster wins a game against a great team. So Brooklyn hopes it's tonight. What they'll also find, though, Mike, is how hard it is to beat James Harden or Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant and consistently score against the best defenses in the league as Donovan Mitchell hits a pull-up 3.
So Harden sitting on the bench. He played last night. He played well. He had tied his career high with 17 assists, but he was a question mark last night, and obviously out of the lineup tonight. Joe Harris, his shot won't go. Royce O'Neal the other way.
We haven't even mentioned Blake Griffin not playing tonight.
Griffin for the knee management as he tries to get back into shape and get his knee going. He played last night, played the most minutes that he's had so far this season. Played 19 minutes at 8 points, 5 rebounds, but he'll sit as well. For a game we expected to have multiple all-stars on each team, this turned a little bit. Tyler Johnson was given Steve Nash some nice minutes. Shot won't go. Rebound, put back Bruce Brown.
That's where Bruce Brown's at his best, cutting, slashing, rebounding, the smallest 5-man in the league.
Well, not only the Nets undermanned, but they're playing so far this season to the toughest place to win on the road. The Jazz lost their first 2 road games, or first 2 home games this season. They've won their last 16, a 16-game home winning streak. Conley flips it out. And a 24-second violation.
Poor pass by Conley didn't give the shooter any chance, Royce O'Neal, to get it off.
Quinn Snyder in his 7th year as head coach, absolutely one of the candidates for Coach of the Year. Might even be the front runner. He has done an amazing job with this team, and there's the steal. Conley It's inside and able to score. Jeff, what is it about Utah that impresses you the most in terms of just the overall picture of what they bring every night? Well, to me, as Brown gets another offensive rebound, it's how good they are at both ends of the floor. They're a top 5 offense, a top 5 defense, and I love that ever since the bubble, they've really exploited how to get more and better three-point shots. Well, Mike Conley gets a good three-point shot, knocks that one down. They lead the NBA in three-pointers made per game, and at the pace they're going at right now, it would be an NBA record, although three-point records seem to be set every single week by either teams or franchise records or for the league. Mitchell on the drive, gets inside, and an easy bucket for Mitchell. Well, in the 5-out offense, if you allow the guy to get to the outside, you don't want to help off the corner, so there's very little help at the rim with the smaller Brooklyn team. Harris misses. Mitchell goes inside. And Bogdanovich fouled as he goes to the basket. Well, good recognition by Mitchell to hit Conley for the three. And then just a blow-by Mitchell. And Jeff Green, being the biggest guy on the floor, has no chance to impact that shot at the basket. Foul is on Luau Cabarro. Bogdanovich is the first free throw. Mitchell career highs across the board, already with 5. For Mike Conley, so Conley and Mitchell off to excellent starts. They have 12 of the 13 Jazz points. That is an absolute stellar finish. Mike Conley, even though he's left-handed, usually finishes with his right. That type of time, a little running left-hand hook. And no hesitation from Conley. Nails another three. Conley already with 10 points. And a quick timeout. Steve Nash, as the lead is now 16-4, 11 straight points for the Jazz. Well, Mike Conley, look at this finish. Beautiful. High off the glass running hook. Utah rolling early by 12. The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. State Farm commercial. Anything can happen.
Is that Jake from State Farm?
Things are going to go surprisingly great, like State Farm's surprisingly great rates.
What's up, family?
Oh, Uncle Cliff!
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That dragon marking? It's an invitation to fight for something known as Mortal Kombat.
The fate of Earth is in our hands. Get over here. Mortal Kombat in theaters and HBO Max April 16, rated R.
Taco Bell's quesalupa is back with its cheese stuffed shell. But there's nothing worse than overhype.
Here it is.
So we'll skip the speeches and the influencers.
Hello?
Cut the fanfare.
Man.
And the pyro.
Man.
So don't hold on to your seats. We're just here to tell you. The quesalupa's cheese stuffed shell is back. And we think you'll like it.
How about we add some happy little droplets? Sometimes in life you get a little thirsty. And when a refreshing opportunity comes along, you can just... shoot, that's good.
You didn't do anything wrong. Just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now you do. When we started our business, we were paying like an arm and a leg for the postage. I remember setting up ShipStation. I think it was just like 1 or 2 clicks. Everything was up and running. I was printing out labels and saving money. ShipStation saves us so much time. It makes it really easy and seamless. Pick an order, print everything you need, slap the label onto the box, and it's ready to go. Our cost for shipping, like, we're cut in half, just like that. ShipStation, the #1 choice of online sellers. Go to shipstation.com/now and get 2 months free. What if your dentist stopped bugging you about flossing? What if you could brush and floss at the same time? Now you can with the world's first flossing toothbrush, the Waterpik Sonic Fusion. It's the only device that lets you brush and floss at the same time, and it's so easy to use. Best of all, it's clinically proven to be twice as effective as regular brushing and flossing. Help keep your smile healthy between dental visits with Waterpik Sonic Fusion. Go to waterpik.com to learn more.
It's probably the biggest crowd in the NBA this year, as the Jazz are allowed somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000, and they've gotten 56 as they're officially distanced the Vivint Arena, and they've watched a lot of victories. Jazz have been dominating here to start. It's the worst possible start for Brooklyn. They'll need to shoot a high percentage, and they're off to a 2-11 start from the field. But, Mike, I think it's absolutely critical for the Jazz to win it all this year that there is more and more fans. I think their home court advantage is as good as anybody when you combine their fan base, the building and how it reverberates, and the altitude. Bogdanovich misses, ball went out of bounds. In fact, Rudy Gobert was saying, even after just being away for that recent 5-game road trip, Gobert says we have to get used to the altitude again. When Snyder was talking about it before the game, that it does have an impact. I mean, for your years going there, you do feel it when you first arrive. Everybody talks about it when you go to Denver. You know, Denver, they advertise it, you're a mile high. You feel tired just reading the sign. But in Utah, it's very, very similar. But it's under there. There's the three-point basket out of the middle from down. Everything going down right now for Utah. They're 8 of 12 overall from the field. So, an enormous back. That's inconsequential. A 14-point first half lead is like 6. I also say now, and it's only 20. Exactly. Or the way I like to, because I hate this term, it's a 7-possession game. When did that come in, Mike? When did that come in? It was one It's a ball out there for Johnson. What they're really thrilled about is they don't have to play in their first game back James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. And that's not disparaging the other Nets players, but it's just different. Now here comes to Jordan. And foul on the floor before the shot. How about the starts of Mitchell? Mitchell 5 of 7 from the field. He's got 13 points. Well, Donovan Mitchell here, the step back, almost the hesitation. That's a difficult shot. Mitchell's on a great stretch. Last 3 games, 42, 31, and 30. Last 2 months, he has been playing the best basketball of his career. Next, turn it over. Royce O'Neal with an easy 2. And the Jazz have 29 points with 4:15 remaining here in the first period. But you know where Donovan Mitchell has made his most growth? It's not as a scorer. It's his playmaking ability, his passing. That will be challenged in a playoff series. Very few teams are going to allow him to just play as a one-man wrecking crew like he had going against Denver last year. He's going to have to make plays off the dribble to help his teammates. And I think he keeps improving in that area. Three-pointer down the other end after Ingles missed the three-pointer. And it's 29-14. Lalo Calderon now at 6 points. By the way, Joe Ingles came into the game. The previous 3 games, 18 for 22. That's the best 3-game stretch of shooting the three in NBA history. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Second in the NBA in three-point percentage. Joe Harris of the Nets is third. Gioka. And Steve Nash said he was going to bring guys in and out just to try and keep the pace up. DeAndre Jordan. Now lost the handle, and Ingles comes the other way. Another easy bucket this time from Favors. Good job by Favors running in a direct line, rim to rim, and Ingles, the best quality he has is as a passer, a tremendous feed. Milo Johnson off the mark. Nets are 6 for 22. Around shot from Mitchell. Misses. Out for the rebound. Favors comes up with it. Kicks it back out. And threw it out of bounds. We'll take a timeout. Just under 2.5 remaining. The Jazz putting it to the Nets here in the opening period.
Life gets a lot more magical when you dream. And for decades, Disney Cruise Line has given families dreams to wake up excited about. Dreams with beloved stories, a private island paradise, and knowing your family will be cared for the moment you step aboard. Because here, dreams really do come true.
Got 6 plus 1.
Wingstop?
Who ordered lunch to class? Chloe? Archie? Eleanor? Oh, so nobody will fess up? Fine. I guess I'll just have to eat it all myself. 10-piece lemon pepper with extra ranch?
Yeah, it's in there.
Awesome, thanks.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauce and tossed Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
There's a beach out there calling your name. Let's go say hola. Adios inside. We've got clear skies to find, vibes to feel in our feet, faraway flavors to discover, and bubbles the world can't burst. So let's say adios to whatever holds us back, and hola to the incredibly refreshing world of Corona Hard Seltzer.
Welcome to that magic realm between here and there, a no man's land, an everyone's land, where great expectations grow and rewards are given to the swift, the perceptive, and the daring. Introducing the Mazda CX-30 Turbo with all-wheel drive. More power for your pursuit.
Come at me. Come at me, bro. And as a gamer.
Must be that nationwide 5G you got from Cricket.
Now I got no mercy. Scared. More phone, more fun. Exclusively on ESPN Plus, UFC 260, Saturday. The heavyweight title is on the line as Stipe Miocic defends his belt in a rematch against Francis Ngannou.
The rematch is upon us.
New subscribers get UFC 260 and a year of ESPN Plus for only $89.98. With ESPN Plus, you get unrivaled UFC access, including exclusive fights and original content. Fight on ESPNplus.com/PPV.
Let's check out tonight's impact player brought to you by the U.S. Army. Well, Jeff, I think in the first quarter, it's very easy to determine who the impact player is.
He is. And when you think about it, so much of this has been done without Kevin Durant, he and Kyrie Irving. And then Kyrie Irving's had a lot of time off, and James Harden has carried the load, and he's done it in the manner we expect from James Harden. Put teams on their back, scoring, passing, making winning plays.
And tonight, his impact being shown by not being on the floor as Utah dominating early, 30-14 for Lalo Cabarro. Tries to get it inside, turns it over. That's the third turnover for Brooklyn. Ingles fakes. Jordan Clarkson has come in for the first time. Under the three-point marksman. Niang. That's a three. They are 6 of 9 from downtown. It's 33-14. Ironically, the first meeting between these two was back in January 5th in Brooklyn. The Nets led 35-14 after the first quarter in a blowout win for Brooklyn. They're now 6 of 23 as Ingles will walk it up. Ingles for Hope Park will play in the final game of this three-game trip. That's in Detroit. Kyrie Irving is out for all 3 games, and Kevin Durant's still out, obviously. As Clarkson flips it up, his shot goes off the rim. Jordan the rebound. Nicholas Claxton out there with DeAndre Jordan. So Steve Nash again mixing it up. Now going a couple of bits together. That's good. There's Gielsa from downtown. His first points of the night.
He's a little bit undersized, but he's got very good quickness and tremendous toughness and confidence.
Final minute. First pass on the entry. And foul call against Brooklyn. That was a Johnson who just signed a 10-day contract, getting his first minutes with the Nets. Picks up personal. So Gobert to the free throw line. Second in the NBA in rebounding. Second in the NBA in blocks. Second in the NBA in field goal percentage. There's 9 blocks on Monday night in Chicago. Reminder, the upcoming national TV schedule. Tomorrow on TNT, doubleheader from Miami. And the Lakers still short-handed. Sixers out west for a bit. And then Saturday on NBA TV, Sixers and the Clippers. Tell you what, Philadelphia, with all the injuries they've had, Embiid's missed a bunch of games, as has Simmons, as has Seth Curry, and still ahead of Brooklyn. Their half game ahead of Brooklyn. Philadelphia still with the best record in the East.
Daryl Morey, Doc Rivers, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, all those guys can take great pride in the regular season they've had so far. Just tremendous.
Well, Darren Moore has never been afraid to pull the trigger on a trade. Will he make one before tomorrow's deadline? Shot misses.
The answer to that, Mike, is he'll be like walking around twitchy if he doesn't make a trade tomorrow. So, yes, the answer is yes. He'll make a trade.
There's so many rumors going around, various players course, we'll have it covered. Diaz will roll. Diaz backs down to number 3. There's 7 of 11 from three-point range. Final seconds here in the first. On the drive, shot is off the mark. And a dominant first quarter for Utah. 38-17. They shoot 61% from the field.
City is on edge. You don't want National Guard on every corner. This is where the ask comes. I can do this on my own, or we can work together.
Tread lightly this time. You're gonna make a mess.
Yeah, well, I love making messes.
Maybe there's some justice in the world. Someone cares about the truth.
You make sure the right thing's done.
Let's make it the two of us now.
Arby's Reuben is a lot like college basketball. It's consumed one half at a time, and you can expect to see tears of joy once it's all over. Arby's, we have the meat.
Look at you all fancy. Fancy? I'm gonna be the most iconic designer of all time. The line for my stuff is gonna go for miles. So let's go. I got places to be.
Gillette Pro Glide. 5 blades and a pivoting flex ball designed to get virtually every hair on the first stroke. So you're ready for the day with a fresh face for a fresh start. For a limited time, get a 5th cartridge free.
The future waits for no one, so we refuse to wait for anyone. We're not just pilots and engineers. We are pioneers. Today, battles are waged in nanoseconds. Planes are piloted from the other side of the world. We turn night into day and fly missions in space. The future's not coming. It's already here. This is the future. Join us and be the future.
Time for tonight's court collaboration brought to you by Microsoft Teams. Jeff?
Complete, concise collaboration by the guards of Utah. Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley, off to a tremendous start together.
The dealer gives you a trade-in offer. Will you take it? It feels like you're in the middle of some weird game show. Where did that music come from? Wait, is that what? Next time, start with CarMax and get a custom offer good for 7 days. The way it should be. CarMax.
Oh, it's your thing. Do what you want to do. It's your thing.
Only taken 3 of them, and this is only his 13th game. Missed a lot of the season early because of knee problems. He's had back-to-back excellent games, including last night. Played extremely well in what was a terrific victory over the Blazers in Portland.
And that was tremendous defense by Claxton against Clarkson. One-on-one guarded multiple moves.
Alize Johnson flips it up and in, gets his first point. And as a member of the Brooklyn Nets, as we said, just signed a 10-day contract with former Indiana Pacer. He's been playing mostly in the G League. Conley fouled on his way to the basket. So the Jazz will take it side out. But Claxton, they're very high on him. Still just 21 years old. Will be 22 next month. The second round pick. Played 2 years of college ball at Georgia. Hardly played in the NBA as a rookie last year with the Nets. Just 15 games. And had some injury problems. Didn't play in the bubble. Had knee problems in camp and didn't play until February. But he is making up for lost time. Clarkson. A nice save from Johnson. Jeff Green gets in. His floater's up and good. And Green, after starting 0 for 5, gets his first bucket.
And a little subconscious letdown by Utah, which is typical NBA. And Quinn Snyder takes a timeout.
What's going on, Dad?
Shh. In a State Farm commercial. Anything can happen. It's okay to be afraid. But sometimes in life, you have to face those fears.
Is that Jake from State Farm?
Don't worry. Things are going to go surprisingly great, like State Farm's surprisingly great rates.
What's up, family?
Uncle Cliff!
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's over. We're going to war.
I've never been afraid to swing. This isn't going to end well for your brother.
I ain't your brother. Actions have consequences.
You think that you can survive without our pipeline?
Let me see you try it. Lions. Tuesdays at 10 on FX. Now streaming FX on Hulu.
Tonight, I'll be eating loaded tots for March Madness. Thanks, Boo. I think you better double them tots. No, this me was last year. I didn't get my madness last year, so we're doing double the madness this year.
These are the people who work on the front lines. They need a network that's built right. That's why we created Verizon Frontline, the advanced network and technology for first responders. Built on America's most reliable network. Built for real interoperability and built for 5G. It's America's #1 network in public safety. Verizon Frontline, built right for first responders.
Real G's moving silence like sourdough, but we can't stay silent about this. The BK Sourdough King is in the 2 for $5 deal with flame-grilled beef, sizzling bacon, and ooey-gooey cheese on 2 toasted sourdough buns. Get the Sourdough King in the 2 for $5 deal. Your way better.
There can't be 2 Alpha Titans.
The world needs calm. In theaters and on HBO Max, March 31st, rated PG-13.
You didn't do anything wrong. Just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now, you do.
One of the most prolific scorers in league history, Elgin Baylor revolutionized the game with his skills, and his legacy can be seen throughout today's game and over the last several decades. His impact also extended off the court. Baylor was a leading activist and voice throughout his playing and post-playing career. Hall of Famer recognized with a statue outside the Staples Center back in 2018, passing away Monday at the age of 86. And the Hall of Fame writer Bob Ryan said that he felt Baylor was the most influential basketball player over the last 60 years. So many of those who had a chance to watch him called him the most unheralded superstar in NBA history. And Jeff, for me, I've seen obviously all the highlights. He's one of those players that I so wish that I was able to see when he played, and would have given anything to broadcast the game that he played, because all the people that saw him play say he was one of the truly special players that ever played a game.
Yeah, like you, Mike, I never got to see him play live, certainly, or even on TV. But the way the older players revered him, his style, his efficiency, he's one of the all-time greats.
Really one of the first above-the-rim players. He was before Michael Jordan, before Kobe Bryant, before Dr. J, before LeBron James. And just staggering numbers that he put up over the course of his career. 1 year averaged 38 points and 18.5 rebounds per game, and he was 6'5". And you forget, he was a Jazz head coach. Of course, spent all those years with the Clippers, but there's only 8 head coaches in the history of the Utah Jazz, but Elgin Baylor was one of them. Also still holds the NBA record for most points in a finals game. That's 61 points in a finals game. He also threw in 22 rebounds.
Can you imagine if in the 2021 finals somebody had 60, would you say 61s and 22? Twitter would explode. Like, they would put up a statue outside that arena that night.
You know what he'd get? He'd get a video tribute at every arena across the league. There's Johnson. Johnson drives on Ingles. Spin. Nice spin move. Goes up. Shot is won't go. Rebound tipped and taken by Ingles. Jazz by 16. And Chiozza comes out with a steal. And after that rough start, that's a kind of reading their footing. And Brooklyn battling right now. Look at Chiozza hustling all over the place. Valley can't hit. Rebound goes to Brooklyn.
And sometimes when it's so easy early, you forget that you have to keep playing. The NBA is a long game. And subconsciously, there's been a drop-off by the Jazz, and the reserves of Brooklyn have taken full advantage. Good play by Chiozza.
Played very briefly with the Rockets, just 7 games. Very briefly with Washington, 10 games. This is his second year in Brooklyn. Got a chance to get some real action in the bubble last year. The Nets were a team that was devastated by COVID. They had so many players out because of it. And Chiozza got a chance to play a lot of minutes and really played well. Ingles comes up short, and the Jazz have gone cold here in the second quarter. Jeff Green can't get it. Claxton the rebound, but knocked out of his hands. All still loose. It didn't go out of bounds, apparently. Clarkson fires away. Clarkson off the mark early. Very nice quick outlet after the rebound. Jeff Green trying to get it to go down. Green struggling, just 1 of 9. Meanwhile, the Jazz haven't hit a shot yet in the second quarter. They're 0 for 8. Favors still without a field goal.
Donovan Mitchell, a little shaken up in the backcourt.
Let's take a look. Very good in the back of the head. Off the rebound. Check out Mitchell. Staying in the game, but Brooklyn, meanwhile, staying in the game. They trail by 21 early. And now put 7-22 off that lead. Tyler Johnson. Chiozza, nice little crossover. Gets inside, throws it back up top. Ball moving for Brooklyn. Tyler Johnson, the floater is good.
I Tyler Johnson's had some good games for them when he's been given the opportunity.
That's a very good, solid, tough NBA player. Another one of the Nets last year, because of the roster being depleted with COVID, got a chance to play in the bubble. They signed him in June. He played in the bubble. He played well for him. Mitchell, that's a three. And finally, a field goal in the second quarter for Utah.
And we can't forget about the Nets bubble experience. What a great job John Vaughn did in leading them in a tough situation. John Vaughn still on Steve Nash's staff. He and Mike D'Antoni and M.A. Udoka on the front of the bench. Great staff.
Doc Moore, of course, had some of his good years as a player in Salt Lake City. Playing for Very Strong in the Jazz. And then stepped out of bounds. We're looking at Quinn Snyder. Quinn Snyder has moved into second place in the all-time winning list for the Jazz. As we mentioned,
and he's going to have to be content with that, Mike.
Perfect. He'll have to coach 46 more years if he wants to. That's very slow. Those numbers. So the great Jerry Sloan. Let's talk about Hundley. He was a great announcer for so many years. You know, Snyder in his 7th year as head coach. He's done a fantastic job. Midway second quarter, 23-28. Guys up by 15. Brooklyn playing without the big three. Trying to stay in it. They've done a terrific job here in the second quarter. Mitchell double team. Eagles shuffle pass. Bogdanovich. Can't get it to fall. Tip. Let go. Second tip misses. And here comes Jeff Green. Gio with a step back three. Bounces around. Let go. Now, Utah ball. What's it got? He's just going to take a seat. Brooklyn came into this game 16-2 in their last 18 games, 30-14 overall, the number one scoring team in the NBA, the best shooting team in the NBA. Beat Portland last night, 116-112, and didn't their defense in the fourth quarter held Portland at 21. They are short-handed tonight. Nice pass from Mitchell, favors finishes, and the lead back up to 17.
And even though Portland lost a tough game last night, the job Terry Stotts, Damian Lillard have done with that depleted team due to injuries, that's been terrific.
Royce O'Neal does not connect. That's such a big part this year, Jeff, of life in the NBA is learning how to play with players, whether it's injuries, whether it's health and safety protocols. As Mitchell deflects it out of bounds, it's figuring out a way to win games when you're shorthanded. Steve Nash aware of that tonight. The latest, by the way, on Kevin Durant. Nash was saying that it's getting closer. He actually said if this were the playoffs, he'd be back very soon, but there's no timetable still with that calf injury. So that jumper goes down. Durant missing his 17th consecutive game and 19 of the last 20.
Those calf injuries are nothing to try to rush back. They can be problematic, and they can be reoccurring. So, Durant has to take as much time as he needs to give himself the best chance he has to be durable the rest of the year.
The spin move won't go for Perry. They'll knock out of bounds, and it's going to be Brooklyn ball.
Sports fans, gear up at NBAStore.com with officially licensed fan gear for every team and all the players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAStore.com, a Fanatics experience.
Johnson on the inbounds. Goes back out. Jeff Green on a nightmare shooting game, 2 for 11. Green has played very well. Steve Nash loves the professionalism he brings, the versatility he brings. He's had some big games for them, big impact games. He's got Bogdanovich lined up. Bogdanovich's first field goal tonight, as we mentioned, he's been in a massive shooting slump, and now puts the Jazz back up by 21. Bear on the foul.
Well, the Jazz always prolific behind the line.
Mitchell, Conley, Ingles, Clarkson. You know, you got a number of different guys, and obviously some, like Bogdanovich, not shooting as well as he normally does, but prolific long-range shooters. You see that?
You look at a lot of
he makes a game.
Yeah. And you look at some teams like the Clippers. We had them a couple games ago. They had 7 guys at that point. I believe over 40% as Bogdanovich hit the layup. That makes it so hard to spread out. It compromises your defense.
The Clippers, they're number 1 in the NBA in three-point percentage. And pass steal breaks O'Neal, who's down the other end. And timeout's going to be called by Steve Nash. The lead has ballooned back up to 24. The Jazz dominating in Salt Lake City.
And free, and free, and free, and free, free, and free, and free, 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 and free, and free, and free, and free.
That's right. TurboTax Free Edition is free. Free, 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 free.
And there you have it. McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich. You'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich.
The thing about freedom is, freedom has no limits. There's no such thing as too many adventures or too many unforgettable moments. There will never be too many stories to write or too many memories to make. But when it comes to a vehicle that will be there for it all, there's only one. Jeep.
5 Hour Energy helps you get stuff done. And now, when you purchase 5 Hour Energy, you can instantly win cash prizes. For complete rules and how to enter, visit 5hewin.com. 5 Hour Energy, the official sponsor of getting stuff done.
We're going to war. I've never been afraid of swim. Lions, Tuesdays at 10 on FX. Now streaming FX on Hulu.
I got this mountain bike for only $11.
DealDash.com, the fair and honest bidding site. An iPad worth $505 was sold for less than $24, a PlayStation 4 for less than $16, and a Schultz Sport television for less than $2.
I want these Bluetooth headphones for $20.
I got these 3 suitcases for less than $40. And shipping is always free.
Oh, it's the second one. That foul on Gobert was the second.
I think more than the injury, Mike, this is a rest day. Just to try to get him to recuperate. Now, the schedule right now for all teams, it's crazy how many games they're playing in such a limited time. So this is going to probably be the norm.
There's the 11th three-pointer of the game for the Utah Jazz. Royce O'Neal with his first three. 58-32. Johnson back up to Green. Tyler Johnson. Alizé Johnson. Here's Tyler on the fake. Leans in, back up top. Bruce Brown tries the three-pointer. The shot clock expires, comes back to him. Shot clock reset to 14. Tyler Johnson short. Alizé Johnson to rebound. Flips it up, and that's good. He's actually played coming into this game. This is his third year in the league. He's played double the amount of G League games as NBA games, so this is a real opportunity for him.
Absolutely. You know, the stars may be out, they may be getting blown out, but people are watching. Net front office and other front offices as Tyler Johnson with a very strong finish going to his dominant left hand.
Even with that bucket, the net shooting just 31% from the field and 3 of 17 from downtown. Bruce Brown. Luau Cabarro stops. Shot comes up short. Rebound Gobert. Feed inside to Gobert, surrounded by the smaller Brooklyn Nets. Foul before the shot attempt. Brooklyn not in the penalty.
I think there was a technical too, Mike.
Yeah, looks like it. Tyler Johnson the foul. Tyler Johnson the technical foul. Donovan shooting technical.
Booker shot that little elbow though, so I understand why he gave him a little shove back.
Gobert went one way, the pass went the other way. And Chioza runs down the floor and lays it up there. 7 points for Chioza. 21-point game. Final minute, second quarter. Conley. Gobert, offensive rebound and put back. First field goal for Rudy Gobert. Johnson foul. Royce O'Neal with the foul. Coming up to Sports Center halftime. Going to have the latest on the potential trades. A lot of big names up there. It'll be one of those nights where there's nights and days tomorrow where there's so many deals, so it will be quiet to find out. Of course, the first game of our doubleheader, only finish. One turned off the Sun Rapid by the Celtics.
Woj is going to filibuster, Mike. He's going to need all 15 minutes of halftime to go over every possible trade that's being mentioned.
That's clock turned off. Mitchell to drive, and Mitchell to finish with 1.9 remaining. Big first down for Mitchell. Tyler Johnson at the buzzer hits the rim, but that's about it. As Utah Jazz taking advantage of the undermanned Brooklyn Nets. 20 points for Donovan Mitchell. 8 of 12 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3. Also has 5 assists. And the Jazz, great three-point shooting team, hit 11 here in the first half. No Durant, no Irving, no Harden. Right now, no problem for the Jazz. They lead 63-38.
NBA on ESPN, presented all season long by State Farm, is brought to you by Burger King. Mix and match your favorites for just $5.
What makes the Popeyes chicken sandwich the sandwich? Freshly hand-battered chicken, crunchy pickles, creamy mayo, and buttery brioche buns. The only thing better than how it sounds is how it tastes.
Riding a bike should be a really fun experience. We make low-maintenance bicycles for everyday riders. We were coming off a great year, and when the pandemic hit, it just stopped. We really had to think creatively. Teams allowed us to do what we call virtual visits. Hey, is that TK?
Hi, how are you?
We're able to see 2 or 3-fold the amount of customers from all over the world. Without Teams, there's no way this would have been possible. And I really think it's going to set a standard for retail moving forward.
Grab Taco Bell's Nachos Party Pack whenever you're dressing up to stay in or witnessing a miracle. Go big with delicious nachos topped with all your favorites. Nachos Party Pack, only at Taco Bell. Get yours with Taco Bell delivery. Every product from touchofmodern.com makes a strong and permanent impression. An unconventional turntable that turns vinyl vertical. Unbelievable. An intriguing display of our solar system. Unreal. Furniture crafted from pieces of the Golden Gate Bridge. Unmistakable. At touchofmodern.com, prepare to discover a curated collection of the world's most exceptional, distinctive, and indelible products that will stay on your mind until you make them your own. Check us out at touchofmodern.com.
Hi, I'm Wolfgang Buck. When I started my online store, Wolfgang Buck Home, I knew there would be a lot of orders to fill, and I wanted them to ship out fast. That's why I chose ShipStation. ShipStation helps manage orders, reduce shipping costs, and print out shipping labels. It's my secret ingredient.
ShipStation, the #1 choice of online sellers.
And Wolfgang Buck.
Go to shipstation.com/Wolfgang and get 2 months free.
No shock at the half. The Nets having a split squad game. Utah with Donovan Mitchell leading the way with 20, leading by a bunch. Woj in 60 seconds.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Shahoes.
Lowry's going to have a voice in this. And I think the organization very much, feels they owe it. Tonight, who really feel like You're not going to see any action here until Orlando and Toronto move the big pieces around the board, and then you'll see the floodgates open for all the other deals.
All right, well, as usual, and as always, I'm sure that phone is right next to you. We'll let you get to that. Woj will be with us after the game and then all day tomorrow on.
City Street. Where else can one team represent BK to the fullest? Brooklyn in the house! And where else can a whole league look to take the throne?
We're back on Toyota Sports Center halftime. Our first game tonight, the Bucks messed around and tried to blow a 25-point lead. Giannis only had 13 hits that one. Celtics hit 19 threes. Here's one from Jaylen Brown, 3 of his 24. It's a 2-point game. Boston has a chance late. Marcus Smart denied by Brook Lopez. The Celtics inbound. It was actually knocked away with 1 second left. That's a great look from Daniel Tice. Chris Middleton said afterwards he thought it was in. It wasn't. That means Middleton and the Bucks hang on and get the victory. Coming up on SportsCenter after Game 2, Adrian Wojnarowski will be with us with the very latest as we head into the trade deadline. Full highlights as well, reaction from the night in the NBA, and Mike Schmitz, top NBA prospects to watch in the tournament. We'll see you after the game.
NBA Halftime is presented by Toyota, who would like to remind you that life is bigger in the all-new Sienna. Toyota, let's go places.
Check out this one. Long hair, loves to hike and plays frisbee.
What is he, a Labrador?
So should I meet him?
You are not that adventurous.
Yes, I am. Try me.
Okay. Jump into that lake.
I'll do it.
Let's all do it. I'm in.
This is crazy. You coming?
Seriously? It is way too comfortable in here.
This is crazy.
The all-new Sienna. Toyota, let's go places.
4, then 5, turn, kick.
We got chased by these wild coyotes.
They were following her because she had beef jerky in her pocket.
he will not officiate the second half. Sprained the calf. There goes the calf injury. So just 2 referees. That's happened a few times this year. Some of it with health and safety protocols, some of it from injuries. During the playoffs, it would be the case. They always have an alternate, but it's not the case. Josh Tibbin and Dietrich Taylor will officiate the game themselves. They've had 3 officials since the 88-89 season. Of course, for so many years, it was just 2 refs. That last foul on Tyler Johnson, so Bogdanovich to the line. Bogdanovich did not play in the bubble last year. He had right wrist surgery. And Quinn Snyder talking about him before the game said that, that has something to do with he went from all the way from March to December without being able to shoot the ball. Here's a guy who's all about rhythm. So it's taken a little while to get right back into it. He's a great shooter. And if they're going to win a championship, and they certainly are one of the leading contenders to win a title, he's going to have to play big for him.
Well, they all will. They can't just ride 1 or 2 people. They're going to have to spread the ball around. They're going to have to move it, and then they're going to have to shoot the 3 well. And he's one of the guys that's going to have to knock it down like that.
Beautiful shot there from Bogdanovich. Nice rhythm. And this is the largest lead, a 30-point advantage for the Jazz. Tyler Johnson comes up short.
It's a 10-possession game, Mike.
Bogdanovich from outside. Makes it an 11-possession game. So Bogdanovich 3 for 4 from 3-point range. That's got to feel so good for him. 15 points with shooting struggles he's been going through. Alize Johnson. Opening minutes here in the third, and what we hoped to be was just one of the premier matchups of the NBA regular season. The Jazz with the best record, one of the premier defenses in the NBA, maybe the best half-court defense against the Nets team, number 1 scoring team with no Kevin Durant, no Kyrie Irving, no James Harden, and the role players for Brooklyn having a tough time against this excellent Jazz team. There's a lot of dribbling and even a finish. Sore neck is what James Harden is out with. That happened on Sunday before they came out west, but he did play last night as Gobert is fouled.
Well, that's a change by every NBA player now. When they shot fake, they sidestep to get the 3, and then here he got the friendly bounce to help him get back on track.
Bogdanovich started his NBA career, as you see the numbers, just really struggling until tonight. But he started his first 2.5 years with the Nets, and he played pretty good. But then he was traded. Sean Marks had come in, and they were kind of cleaning house with the roster. They wound up trading him. The Wizards, he went to the Wizards, and the Nets did get a first-round pick in the deal. Turned out to be Jarrett Allen. Allen, of course, played well for the Nets until he was traded in the James Harden deal. He'll be 32 years old next month from Croatia. A terrific shooter when he's on, boy. It seems to have regained his touch a bit tonight. Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell gets all the way to the rim. This is the layup. Gobert trying to get the offensive board. Between the legs dribble from Rudy Gobert. Puts it up and one good. That's it, blocked by Gobert. That's his 3rd rejection. He had 9 in his last game, which has tied his career high as Donovan Mitchell thought he was fouled. Gets to the rim. And it's 75-40.
Make it stop, Mike. Make it stop.
What was that rule that you tried to propose, I think, about 10 years ago?
Yeah, you can tie it up. Yeah, you can tie it up with a half-court shot. We need something.
Claxton slow to get up. Mitchell for three. That's good. Donovan Mitchell with his fifth three-pointer. He's got 25. And Steve Nash calls timeout as Utah having their way with the outmanned Brooklyn Nets.
The NBA on ESPN, presented all season long by State Farm, is brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Celebrate responsibly.
Jake from State Farm, I knew it.
Dad, look!
Ooh, see? Surprising. Just like State Farm surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And there you have it. McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. The crispy sandwich. From the makers of the world's most shared fries. The
How about we add some happy little droplets? Sometimes in life you get a little thirsty. And when a refreshing opportunity comes along, you can just... shoot, that's good.
When pain wears you down, Icy Hot Dry Spray can work instantly, providing powerful relief to muscles and joints. Icy Hot.
And Icy Hot now has a bold new look with the same powerful relief to help you rise from pain.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association.
Game brought to you by State Farm. Donovan Mitchell having his best season, career high numbers across the board. But look at the last four, including tonight. He's already got 25, and we still have 7-12 to play. And not only just the scoring, but as Jeff, you brought up, his assists. He's become a better playmaker, getting more people involved, and that makes him a more dangerous scorer.
And it makes him a more dangerous player when it comes to the playoffs. As we saw the number of the great Pistol Pete, Frank Layton, the iconic coach here, previous to Jerry Sloan.
Speaking of the playoffs last year, that's getting inside. Very able to finish. He had, in that first round series last year against Denver, had 57 points. Donovan Mitchell did in game 1, had 51 points in game 4, had 44 in game 6. It was just a battle between Mitchell and Jamal Murray was sensational down in the bubble. Jazz turn it over. You know, we're talking about the trades, Jeff. And this time, as Alize Johnson gets it inside, throws Bruce Brown, and his shot is up and good. When you're coaching and a player on your team, his name is in all the trade rumors. And in today's social media world, I mean, it's all over the place. Do you talk to the player? How do you do that from a standpoint of keep the player focused? Because that's not an easy thing. I think it's underrated, the mental challenge of dealing with the fact that you might have to uproot your family and move across the country.
Well, I think it depends on the player, his level of experience in the league. Because if you've been in the league long enough, you know it's just part of it. It's going to be, no matter what, it's not based even a lot of times on fact as favors his foul in transition. Sometimes it's guys trying to deduce what they would do, and they put it into rumor form. So, I think if you're a young player, you might be impacted more by it. I think if you're an older player who's been through it a number of times, you're not at all impacted by it.
Also, too, I think there'd be some players impacted who have families. Others who are single, it's easier just to pick up your belongings and go move. But to move a family or decide whether or not you're going to bring the family with you or keep them, that's all part of it as well, I would imagine.
Absolutely. I think, especially when you have kids who are of school age, that becomes incredibly hard decisions and long separations if you do decide to let the kids finish their school year. So I feel for all those people who do get traded, particularly those that don't want to be traded.
But then there are those who are desperate to get traded because either they don't like the situation, they're not getting playing time, and they are looking forward to hearing that they've been dealt.
And the Jazz dropped back into a 2-3 zone there. But you're right, Mike. I think different people look at it differently. So many people that get traded may be going to a better opportunity for not only this year, but in the future.
Mitchell, one-on-one, little fake. Johnson does a good job getting away, and Mitchell still banks it home. 27 now for Donovan Mitchell. 82 points for Utah with 5 minutes to go in the third. Count it and one as Bruce Brown scores.
Where else can you make a fast break from one live game to hundreds of others? Where can you watch it all on your phone, TV, or tablet? Where else can you watch live games at a new low price? Only here, NBA League Pass.
We'll take a timeout. 82-48.
Is someone trying to steal your Butterfinger? Call the BFI. Wake up. No one lets a finger on your Butterfinger.
Welcome to that magic realm. Between here and there. A no man's land. And everyone's land. Where great expectations grow. And rewards are given to the swift, the perceptive, and the daring. Introducing the Mazda CX-30 Turbo with all-wheel drive. More power for your pursuit.
Oh, it's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Shareholders are very happy.
Oh, it's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Gillette Pro Glide. 5 blades and a pivoting flex ball designed to get virtually every hair on the first stroke. So you're ready for the day with a fresh face for a fresh start. For a limited time, get a 5th cartridge free.
Grab Taco Bell's Nachos Party Pack whenever you're dressing up to stay in or witnessing a miracle. Go big with delicious nachos topped with all your favorites. Nachos Party Pack, only at Taco Bell. Get yours with Taco Bell delivery.
Every champion begins with a dream.
Lady Bears are back at the top of college basketball.
Our dream is now. NCAA Women's Basketball Championship.
These folks, they don't have time to go to the post office. They have businesses to grow, customers to care for, lives to get home to. They use Stamps.com. Print discounted postage for any letter.
Any package, anytime, right from your computer. All the services of the post office, plus UPS, only cheaper. Get our special TV offer. A 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to stamps.com/now and never go to the post office again. A logo can do more than identify your company. It can connect in meaningful ways, energize your team, and inspire your customers. We're 4imprint, and we know your logo on the right product can create moments that matter. With 30 years of experience and thousands of products to choose from, we guarantee your order will be right the first time, on time, and for a great price. Be certain that the right moments will matter. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain.
Coming up on our NBA Friday doubleheader, 7:30 Eastern, the Celtics and the Bucks. And then we head out to San Francisco, where the Warriors will host the Atlanta Hawks. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern. Question, of course, any of those teams have different players on their roster. The NBA trade deadline is tomorrow, and Adrian Wojnarowski is going to join us right now to give us the latest. And Woj, first question is, are you going to sleep tonight? Are you going to try and lay down and actually get some sleep, or are you going all night?
No, the league will sleep tonight. I will sleep tonight, guys. Yeah, it's been slow. It's been slow so far, and I think a lot of the league, almost all of the league, is really waiting on a couple of teams who have some of the bigger players, Toronto, Orlando, and I think once those teams move on deals, I think you'll see the dominoes fall and the floodgates open, for a lot of deals elsewhere.
Do you expect a lot of activity that they'll go through with?
I do expect a lot of activity. I don't know how impactful a lot of it may be to the standings. Certainly. And listen, there's always a player or two that may surprise you, that we're not talking about right now, or a team didn't think today or yesterday they might trade, that they get something tomorrow and say, okay, that's something we'll do. But certainly Kyle Lowry and Norm Powell in Toronto, and Aaron Gordon in Orlando, and Victor Oladipo to a certain extent in Houston. He's certainly a big name. It's an interesting marketplace for him right now. But I think Kyle Lowry, certainly in Toronto, that's probably the most impactful player, especially if he goes to a contender, who could really, play a role in the postseason chase and seeding, and then obviously into the playoffs.
Who's the favorite right now for Lowry?
I think it's really still too early to tell, Mike, and I think a big part of that reason is, teams sometimes it takes until an hour before the deadline, 2 hours before the deadline, early afternoon, for people to make their best offers, and for teams sometimes, in many cases, you're trying to put together 3-team or 4-team deals to get teams what they might want to move the assets around to do a deal. And so typically those all fall apart. But at any given hour of the night tonight, there's teams trying to see if they can construct those. But certainly, listen, there's a lot of interest in Lowry. He'll be a free agent in this offseason. He'll turn 35 tomorrow. Still, obviously, a very good player. And remember this, too. Lowry's going to have a voice in where he goes. Masai Ujiri in Toronto, because of what Kyle Lowry has meant to that organization, really taking them from a lottery team to a perennial playoff team to helping them win a championship. They're not going to send him somewhere he really doesn't want to go, or he doesn't want to go at all. And so I think there's going to be more conversations with Philadelphia, with Miami, but there's other teams too, and I think Kyle Lowry will have an open mind, possibly some other situations. Masai Ujiri does not want to just give him away. He wants to get some assets back, whether that's a first-round pick, a good young player, a combination. Good young player, a combination of that.
Heard about his blow-up with Nick Nurse in a recent game. Would he be possibly on the market, or does how he's behaved, performed this year, does that impact what they may want to do with Lowry and Norman Powell?
Yeah, Jeff, I'm told he is not on the market, and they're still planning in Toronto to keep building around those three young players that they've invested in long term: Siakam, Fred VanVleet, and Giannobi. And so, Norman Powell's another player who has had a great season. He can be a free agent. He'll probably decline the option on his deal. And you're only going to be able to spend on so many players positionally moving forward. And I think Powell is going to make himself a lot of money in the market. And there's a great deal of interest in him. He's 27 years old. He's obviously a younger player. But I'm told the plan in Toronto is to keep building around that group. And now they have a chance, if they do move on Lowry and Powell, to kind of start reshaping. It's not a rebuild, but more of a reshaping, get some assets in, and then they'll have some cap space and some things going forward, to try to keep building around that core.
And what about two teams that seem like a lot of rumors are surrounding them? The New York Knicks and the Orlando Magic. What are they both trying to accomplish?
Well, the Knicks right now, I know they've been talking around the league. I don't know if there's anything big for the Knicks to do. My sense is could be some things along the edges for them. They have a lot of space, cap space going into the summer. They certainly, if they could take a contract on from somebody with their cap space and get a draft pick or two with it, if someone's looking to unload money, they're in a position to be able to do that. But they also, I think, want to fortify their team around the edges for a team that very likely is going to be in the playoffs and has shown just this remarkable improvement this year under Tom Thibodeau. Orlando's another team that really holds the keys to the trade deadline. Aaron Gordon, they've been talking throughout the afternoon, evening with teams. I think Boston remains involved. The Denver Nuggets, Minnesota, has continually talked with about Gordon with them. Houston had some earlier talks that I think are probably by the wayside now. And listen, they've got to decide in Orlando what they can get for Aaron Gordon. I think they would like, can they get 2 first-round picks? Can they get a good first-round pick and a good young player? That's what they're scouring the marketplace for. And I think the Magic are in a position here where I think they've got to decide what direction do they want to go. Do they want to try to retool this on the fly and not bottom out? Or do they want to take the assets they do have, even beyond Aaron Gordon, and see what else is out there to keep moving in that direction? But I think they and Toronto, they're really holding up the marketplace. And until these big deals get done, guys, you're not going to see many of the smaller deals happen. And so you may see a floodgate of trades once those players are off the board, and then people, either don't get them. You just see a domino effect trickle down, and so it could make for a pretty interesting lead up to that 3 p.m. Eastern deadline tomorrow.
And it could, one or two of these deals could make a difference between a team really advancing in the playoffs and making a push, because some big names, some good names that can really have an impact on some of these good teams. Well, as always, great to have you on. Thanks for the information. I hope you do get some sleep tonight, and we'll look forward to all the reports come flying in tomorrow.
Thanks. Great to visit with you guys as always.
So the trading deadline, 3 p.m. tomorrow. Meanwhile, Utah having their way with the Brooklyn Nets 90-61 from Salt Lake City.
5-Hour Energy helps you get stuff done. And now, when you purchase 5-Hour Energy, you can instantly win cash prize. For complete rules and how to enter, visit 5hewin.com. 5-Hour Energy, the official sponsor of getting stuff done.
Starting today, nobody has to settle for less than the very best, because only Verizon gives you 5G from America's most reliable network at no extra cost, and plans to mix and match so you only pay for what you need. The plan is so reasonable, they can...
upgrade to the Disney bundle for even more.
We asked people to touch the King's Buns to score a 2 for $5 deal at Burger King.
What? Say it again? Oh, wow. I'm a fan of the King sourdough buns.
Grab the King's Buns with both hands. Get the Flame Grilled Sourdough King in the 2 for $5 deal. Your way, way better.
Corona Hotline, Kenny Smith here. Okay, listen closely. Take your bracket, ball it up, throw it in the trash. Grab yourself a Corona and enjoy the rest of the games. Are you crying? There's no crying on the Corona Hotline.
Call now to find your bracket beach.
UFC 260 is at the Apex in Las Vegas on Saturday. The heavyweight main event at 10 Eastern. Stipe Miocic defends his title against Francis Ngannou in the order of the main card on pay-per-view. Go to ESPNplus.com/PTV. Prelims start at 8 Eastern on ESPN. Donovan Mitchell, 27 points. The Utah Jazz dominant tonight at home against Brooklyn.
Got 6 plus 1.
Wingstop?
Who ordered lunch to class? Chloe? Archie? Eleanor? Oh, so nobody will fess up? Fine. I guess I'll just have to eat it all myself. 10-piece lemon pepper with extra range.
Yeah, it's in there.
Some things.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauce and tossed Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
What difference could 2 inches make? I mean, it's a truck. It's not about inches. Who's thinking about the garage when you're shopping for a truck? CarMax. That's why we offer 24-hour test drives, so you can find the perfect fit where it should be. CarMax.
You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now, you do.
Welcome back to NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm. First game of our Wednesday night doubleheader turned out to be a game decided on the final shot as Milwaukee beat Boston. Not the case in the second game as Brooklyn played without James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. Just obviously short-handed, and the Utah Jazz in their first game back after a 5-game road trip, enjoying home and enjoying the dominance. Conley spinning off 1 foot, shot misses. Bruce Brown the rebound. Tyler Johnson drives inside, misses. A whistle and a foul. I believe it's going to be called on the first shot attempt. Well, I saw Donovan Mitchell, Jeff. He said after the long road trip, so glad to be home. Like every player, he said, just thinking of his own bed, but he said he really missed driving in his car. I wonder if that's due to how they have to stay sort of locked up in the hotel, where they have very little freedom. Yeah, absolutely. That's what he said. He said being on the road is just so much harder. It's so often that you go to shoot around, you come back, and you're just sitting around in your hotel room by yourself. It's not the same camaraderie. You don't have the team meals that you used to have. It's all part of the mental challenge for these players. In fact, Chris Snyder brought up a very good point. You know, he's talking about the shooting slump of Bojan Bogdanovic. In a day cases, you know, sometimes you have a bad couple of games, you go out with your teammates, you have a good time, have a nice big dinner somewhere on the road, hang out together on the road. Instead, in today's NBA, with all the restrictions, you're sitting in your hotel room by yourself, and all you're doing is thinking about the last 4 shots that you missed. Sometimes it can add to the pressure. I thought that was a good point by Chris Snyder. Well, the largest lead has been 38. The Nets have never led. The second game is Conley counted and a foul. Second game of a 3-game road trip for Brooklyn. They hope that Harden will be back. The last game of the trip will be in Detroit. Started last night with a victory in Portland. Blake Griffin also expected to play in that one. He's returning to Detroit. Griffin has played 2 games so far. You know, I watched him last night in the game. He seems to really enjoy being in a role. Now, obviously, he's not the same player that he was, but to have still a guy of his caliber just playing a supporting role for the Nets, that was a terrific pickup. Yeah, and he's got great basketball intelligence. Terrific passer. He may not be. It may not be Lob City anymore, as a double dribble occurs, but he's a better shooter and a better passer now. His skill level is still high.
And as you always talk about, here's a former star player who now is embracing his new role. Sometimes you always talk about how maybe the hardest player to coach was a declining superstar.
Yeah, particularly on their original team as Niang hits another three. Because they don't see the need to change their role. But good for Blake Griffin that he found a place that he wanted to be, and he accepts his role that he's not going to be a first option or even a starter on this team.
Steve Nash, in his first year as a head coach, got a lot of help on the bench, as you spoke about earlier. But he's talking about he loves the challenge, really loves the challenge. And it is a challenge, especially when your first head coaching job. There's expectations that you can win a championship.
Every time we have one of those Zoom calls, Mike, with these coaches, you learn so much. Not information from my vantage point, but just how they go about coaching their team. It's fascinating listening to the different coaches, and we have two of the brightest here tonight, Steve Nash and Quinn Snyder.
Connolly with a three-pointer. That's his third three. It's interesting. In recent years, you had Toronto with Cleveland, Nick Nurse with Toronto, and Steve Kerr with Golden State all won a championship their first year as head coach in the NBA.
And it just shows you once again that you need great coaching. But more than great coaching, you need Hall of Fame caliber players, willing to sacrifice and willing to try to do whatever it takes to win. And I think Steve Nash has done a good job with this Nets team in getting everybody in the same, pulling the rope in the same direction. It's not an easy team necessarily, but it's well worth it for the level of talent that they possess.
And I love what Nash was talking about. We asked him about, what's something you learned about being a head coach this year that maybe you didn't expect as much as Joseph shot us off. And he said it's having to learn to let stuff go and focus on just what, as he said, really, really matters. Even though something might bother you as a head coach, some of it you have to let go.
Well, that's the old Eric Spoelstra, keep the main thing the main thing.
I like that line. Niang, another three. 19 three-pointers for Utah. 19 of 43. That's 44%. They have been shooting the three ball beautifully all season long.
And Niang has really gotten better as an NBA player. He's very skilled, slow of foot, but his basketball intelligence is high, and he's really become a good three-point shooter. From Iowa State, all hail Cyclones.
This now his fifth year in the league, his fourth year with Utah. His senior year at Iowa State, he averaged over 20 a game. And in the NCAA tournament, he was even better.
He played that point forward. He played that point forward role, Mike, that so many guys now play. Just such a good ball handler, passer, decision maker.
102-66. Steve Nash is going to talk it over. Blowout City tonight in Salt Lake City.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, anything can happen.
that Jake from State Farm?
Things are gonna go so.
Kings on an 18-7 run here over the last 5:07. Let's see. Get his shot.
Gallinari was hoping that would. Was falling. He knows what he can do against Harrison, and it's not the little pump fake. It got you as a banana in the tailpipe.
Under 4 to play. Kings up by 4. Fox. Wall takes the timeout. He came out to half court to call that one. Kings take the timeout, so will we. 4-point ball game here in downtown Sacramento. Fox, step back. John Collins rips down the board. Nate McMillan takes a timeout. 100-96. 3:41 left to go here in the fourth. We're coming down to the wire. Kings and Hawks.
Putik timeout na naman.
To 96. Kings on top of the Atlanta Hawks. All right, Doug, this is a test for the Sacramento Kings down the stretch.
Yes.
Revisit your keys for the final 3:41. What do you want to see?
Well, first of all, do not turn the basketball over. Take care of it. Keep Clint Capella off of the offensive boards. And when you get to the offensive end of the floor, make sure that you move the ball around and it has to touch the hands of number 5. Allow him to make a decision.
Fox starting Trey Young.
You looking for the smoke. They're going to send Capella at 55% to the line. Back to Capella. Yep.
I think we saw this last time.
I want to say that this is a strategy that Luke has used a few times. It's come up good for the Kings, and sometimes these guys will knock them down.
Oh, he travels that one. Well, 4 or 5 from the line tonight. 24 points, 17 rebounds. Capella's road to the NBA, well traveled. He was in foster care for 7 years as a foundation where he tries to help foster kids of single parent families have opportunities. Now here he is starting in the NBA. Putting up big numbers here in Sacramento as Heels with 5 on the clock. Takes a triple. Too strong. Back comes Trae Young. 3-point game. Trae. 1-8 speed. Reverse layup. Trae Young. Drafted. Being smaller in stature. He understands the angles. Not super athletic. You see his numbers already up to 8 this quarter. Now guarding Tyrese Halliburton. Turnaround jumper. Good. That's the rook. Tyrese with a clutch bucket.
Tell him, Reese, watch out, little dude. Working in here.
Fox and Halliburton combining for 50 points.
Galing talaga si Trae Young.
Smallest dude on the floor, Trae Young.
He's been working in that paint.
Yeah. Trae doesn't have a 3 tonight. 0 for 6, but he's up to 26 points. We got a 1-point game. Here's Fox. Hunter whistle for the foul. Smart move by De'Aaron Fox.
Well, you're going to look, and when De'Aaron gets nipped on the hip, first we're going to see Tyrese right here turn around. Beautiful shot. And then Trae sees the angle, gets inside, float game. On ice.
Fox makes it a 2-point game.
You see De'Aaron right here. Well, he had him on the hip, and he showed the ref he's bumping, and then right at the end puts it up on the glass and gets 2 at the line. Just a smart play by Fox.
And he makes his free throws. Now 8 of 9 from the charity stripe for De'Aaron Fox. Kings up by 3.
Another foul on Capella.
Capella's a foul line.
Running the numbers.
Split him last time, 4 of 6 tonight.
John Collins trying to give him some of that good juju.
You do that all the way to the 2-minute mark. That's Capella. It works. This is the first. One of 2 again for Clint Capella. It's a 2-point game.
It's a big bonus right here, having an accomplished player like Halliburton with the ability to handle the basketball and make some decisions.
Rashawn Holmes, the rebound and the putback.
Man, circle around. I got you back.
Kings back up by 4. Trent loops it in. Capella saves it. Young trapped in the corner. Bogdanovich. Nice save from Collins right to Tyrese. Buddy almost had it out of bounds. It'll be Atlanta basketball with 1:31 left to go.
Let's say on that one, just try to come down with the basketball. Beautiful look, though, down the floor by Tyrese Halliburton.
Capella checks out. Gallinari comes back in. 90 seconds left to go. Kings up by 4, 106-102. Here's Trae Young working on Rashawn Holmes. Bogdanovich, straightaway triple, bang.
1-point lead.
Former King, look at him smiling.
He's talking to everybody over there. He knows them all.
Bogdanovich, 20 points tonight in his return to Golden One Center. Kings up by one, 106-105. Barnes. Holmes push shot. Look at Harrison Barnes drawing the defender, finding Holmes. Gallinari getting some of what he gave in that first half. Trae Young.
Wala yun.
Whoa. He tore it up from Folsom, didn't he? That was from the logo, Doug. His first three of the game ties it at 108. That's confidence. Yeah. That's a clutch shot right there. And it's a lime green light. Real bright. Here's Tyrese. Going inside. We got a foul. Tony Brothers with the call. Tyrese will get to the line for two. Knotted up at 108. That's Trae Young's second foul. Take a look at these threes, Doug. Yeah, good ball movement. Bobo squaring up, knocking it down. And he just came off here and he said, this is my opportunity. I haven't been this open all night. As Tyrese, an 85% free throw shooter, puts the Kings up by one, 109-108. Capella looks like he's Nate motion for him to come back in the ball game. Gallinari out. Atlanta with 2 timeouts. Sacramento also with 2. Halliburton makes them both. All right, timeout Atlanta. Kings up. Atlanta with the ball. Obviously going to Trae Young here.
I think you're going to put the ball in his hands. You got Gallinari. He can spread the floor. Bogdan has been hot, so I wouldn't be surprised if they had a little something and gave him an opportunity as well. But I would say, and also Collins shoots it at a high clip. So this is going to probably end up in Trae Young's hands to allow him to make a decision.
Trae with the ball, looking to go quickly. Working on Fox. Little runner. Goes to the rebound. Harrison Barnes.
Good defense by De'Aaron Fox. Whoa.
We got a 6-second differential. Atlanta not going to foul here. 10 on the shot clock for Fox. Working against Bogdanovich. Step back. Thought about it. Buddy. Jumper. Short. Out of bounds. It'll be Atlanta basketball with 6.2 left.
6 seconds.
send him to the line. You got to imagine they're going to go to Trey Young. Fox looking to lock him up. Let's set the five out here. Corey Joseph back in. Fox, Halliburton, Holmes, and HB Harrison Barnes. Bogdanovich set the inbound the ball for Atlanta. 6.2 on the clock. Watch your inbound. Tony Snell back in the game as well. Here comes Trey Young. Collins with the screen. Trey Fox with the rip. A near steal from De'Aaron Fox. Oh, the track down ability, speed. Now you really have to watch
1.3 seconds.
No timeouts for Atlanta. 1.3 on the clock.
Estado.
Gallinari, deep two-pointer. It is off. The Kings win. Kings win. Danilo Gallinari.
Laro. Ba't lang yung laro bukas?